The $20,000 pricing mistake home sellers keep making and how to avoid it. I've watched Harrisburg homeowners leave tens of thousands of dollars on the table because of one pricing mistake. And most agents won't tell you about it because it makes them uncomfortable. I'm Darius Ramsey with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Today I'm going to show you exactly how this happens, why it happens, and what smart sellers do differently. Let's jump in. Here's the mistake. Homeowners often price their home based off of what it's worth to them instead of what it's worth to the market. Those are two very different numbers. Think about everything you've invested. You remember what you paid. You remember replacing the roof, installing a new HVAC system, remodeling the kitchen, building the deck, watching your kids grow up there. All of those things naturally create emotional value. But buyers don't see your memories. They compare your home to every other home they've looked at this weekend. And that's where many sellers unknowingly make an expensive mistake. Imagine two nearly identical homes. One is priced according to today's market. The other price is based on what the owner hopes it should sell for. The properly priced home attracts immediate attention. The overpriced home gets viewed and skipped. Eventually, after weeks on the market, the seller starts reducing the price. But then buyers begin asking questions. Why hasn't it sold? What's wrong with it? Maybe we can negotiate. Suddenly, instead of creating competition between buyers, you're negotiating from a weaker position. And that's how pricing too high can actually cost you money. So why does this happen? A lot of it comes down to psychology. There's something called anchoring bias. Once we hear a number, we naturally become attached to it. Maybe it's what we paid. Maybe it's what a neighbor told us. Maybe it's an online estimate. Speaking of online estimates, a lot of homeowners begin with Zestimate. And that's perfectly fine. It's a useful starting point. But even Zillow says it shouldn't replace a professional market analysis. In Dauphin County, Zillow reports a median error rate of roughly 67% of off-market homes. On a $40,000 home, that is about $24,000 to $28,000 price difference. That's real money, because pricing a home isn't just about square footage. It's about condition, updates, location, buyer demand, competition, and what's happening in the market today. I've had sellers tell me, but Zillow says my house is worth more. My response is always the same. Maybe. But let's see what buyers are actually paying today. Because buyers don't write offers based on this estimate. They write offers based on the homes they've toured and the choices they have available. Now, let's talk about what happens when a home is overpriced. Week one, your listing is brand new. Everyone sees it. You get showings. People are curious. But if the price doesn't make sense, they move on. Week two, showings begin slowing down. The serious buyers have already looked. Now they're focused on the new listings entering the market. Week three, buyers start wondering, why is your home still available? Then comes the price reductions. Instead of creating excitement, they create doubt. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions I hear. We can always lower the price later. Technically, yes. But you only get one chance to be the newest listing on the market. That first week is incredibly valuable. Once it's gone, you don't get it back. So what do smart sellers do differently? First, they remove emotion from the pricing conversation. Not because they don't love their home, but because they understand buyers don't purchase memories. They purchase value. Second, they study the right comparable sales, not just homes that sold, homes that are similar in condition. Location, size, updates, and timing. Third, they price strategically. Here's something that surprises many homeowners. The goal isn't to list at the highest possible number. The goal is to create enough buyer interest that multiple buyers want the property. Because when buyers compete with each other, that's when sellers often achieve their best results. When I sit down with homeowners, I don't walk in with a number already picked out. We review the data together. Recent comparable sales, current competition, buyer demand, market trends, Sometimes the data supports the number they hope for, sometimes it doesn't. Either way, my responsibility isn't to tell someone what they want to hear. My responsibility is to help them make the decision that puts the most money in their pocket at closing. Sometimes the best advice is also the hardest advice. If you're thinking about selling your home anywhere in the Harrisburg area, don't rely on guesses. Don't rely on what your neighbor says. And don't rely solely on an online estimate. Get information that's specific to your home and specific to today's market. The right pricing strategy can make a significant difference in both how quickly your home sells and how much money you ultimately walk away with. I'm Darius Ramsey with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. If you'd like to know what your home is worth in today's Harrisburg market, I'd be happy to put together a personalized pricing strategy with absolutely no pressure. If this video helped you, subscribe for more practical real estate advice focused on Central Pennsylvania. If you have a question about pricing, leave it in the comments. I'd love to answer it in a future video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.